Are you tired of dying instantly as soon as the round starts? Do you want to learn how to counter operators and more? Well, say no more because you found the right video. Hi, I'm RiceLover and I queued from gold to immortal 2 in just one episode. In this video, we will be going over the secret to movement in Valorant. This video will include how to clear angles, all the peaks, counter-strafing, crouching, b-hopping, and all the jumps. But before the video starts, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the recent support. Still, only around 4% of you guys are actually subscribed, so if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. I upload Valorant content frequently, so it mean the world if you hit the subscribe button. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Enjoy the rest of the video. If you're entering sight like this, you're definitely doing something wrong. Learning how to peek efficiently is essential in Valorant, especially if you want to climb a higher elo. We will be going over all of the peeks and how they are utilized. We'll also be going over the importance of each peek and how you can do them too. Jiggle peeking. Jiggle peeking is something you must know. When an opponent is holding an angle with an operator, you definitely don't want to wide swing them. Instead, you want to press A and D to see the opponent bit by bit so they can't get a clear shot on you. When jiggle peeking, your opponent will probably hold a close angle knowing you will jiggle again. This is the perfect time to wide swing and throw off their crosshair placement. This will help you win a lot more gunfights and is definitely important to know. Another thing you can do to add on to this is shoot while jiggle peeking. Just make sure you're shooting the exact time you're standing still. A player who does this extremely well is Sinatra. You can practice this just in the range or in game. Take some time to master, but you can get the hang of it soon. The next peek we'll be going over is the jump peek for info. This is different from the jump peek to fight, which we'll be going over in just a second. Jump peeking for info can be used to bait out an op shot or just for information. With this jump peek, we can see if they're holding the angle and maybe you can bait out a shot from them. This peek is really quick, so if you master it, it's almost impossible to kill. You can learn this peek by running up to the wall, turning midair, and landing back in your starting position. Try to limit the amount you're peeking because the more you peek, the easier it is to get killed by the enemy. Now, this is the jump peek to fight. This peek is actually quite simple. All you need to do is jump and peek. This is mainly to throw off someone's crosshair placement, but in my personal experience, this peek is now easy to counter and not as useful as others. Now, the final peek we'll be going over is the wide swing. This peek is also known as the Ferrari peek or the pop-in swing. This peek is when you just book it and hold A or D for an eternity to try and throw off your opponent's crosshair placement. This is very situational, but makes for a funny clip when it works. Now, the counter-strafing explanation will be short and simple. When you're far away from someone, you never want to spray your gun while crouching. Instead, you want to press A and D to move back and forth whilst being accurate. This will help you hit more shots while being harder to hit. If you want to perfect this, I suggest you find a target in the range and practice shooting while strafing. Some people like to hold A while holding T to stop, but I don't think it makes a difference from just letting go of A. If you want a more detailed explanation, I can make a full counter-strafing guide. Just leave a comment. Many people say that b-hopping can increase your speed. However, that is not true. B-hopping does not increase your speed at all, and the only thing it does is help airstrafe. B-hopping can make you a harder target to hit, and that's pretty much it. It can also help with little movement things like getting upstairs, which I'll get to in the next section. In order to b-hop, you need to look left and right while jumping. I do not have my jump bound to scroll wheel, but it is much easier if you have it bounded. This is so you can constantly jump while moving forward. This makes you a much harder target to hit, and occasionally makes you faster at turning corners. Other than that, b-hopping is just a cool mechanic that you can do while waiting in the pregame. Do your teammates tell you that you sound like an elephant every time you try to rotate? If so, then you need to learn to silent jump. Silent jumping is a small but very important part of getting good at Valorant. There are two types of silent jump: silent jumping and silent b-hopping. There's also the silent rope jump, which we'll get into in a second. In order to get up the stairs faster while being quiet, you can shift and b-hop up the stairs. This will make you faster while being quiet. Now, silent jumps. There are two types of silent jumps. The first one is just jumping up and not making any noise, like this. In order to do this, hold control and jump. While midair, let go of control. You will not make any noise landing while doing this. The other silent jump is not making any noise when jumping onto things. In order to not make noise, you have to hold shift while jumping. One place where this is really useful is in A main of ascent. While on the motorcycle, run up to the tip of it and hold shift right before you jump. And then to move up the boxes, just hold shift and jump. This way you make zero noise while getting up and can catch the opponents off guard. The final jump we'll be going over is a silent rope jump. How ropes work is that if you're pressing shift, you won't make any noise, but your speed also matters. When you strafe midair, you go faster in a direction. So if you jump straight down and before you land, press shift and attach, you won't make any noise. However, if you strafe midair and go onto the ropes, you will make noise. So in order to have silent rope drops, you need to time it well. Don't drop too far or close to the ground, and also make sure you fall straight down and not move into the rope. The final part of this video is about crouch jump. If you want to make long jumps easier for you, spam crouch right before you land, or while you're on the edge. This will boost you up onto the ledge. Now, there are also many skill jumps and jumps you have to specifically learn to do. So if you guys want me to, I can make a video on those too. But for this video, that's all. Thank you for watching. Bye!